Imagine a room in 1920s London filled with the city's intellectual elite. These are highly educated, successful people who have gathered to hear the philosopher P.D. Ouspensky speak. He steps up to the podium, looks out at the crowd, and delivers his opening line, "All of you are asleep. You must wake up." Ouspensky was delivering the uncompromising philosophy of his teacher, George Gurdjieff. According to Gurdjieff, what we consider normal waking consciousness is an illusion. We walk around, go to work, and have conversations, but we are actually in a second, highly dangerous state of sleep. He argued that the average person is quite literally a machine. We don't consciously choose to think, feel, or act. We merely react. We move through our daily lives with the same automatic, blind repetition as our stomachs digesting food. This means our most deeply held conviction, the idea that we have free will and direct our own lives, is entirely false. We are reacting to external inputs, entirely at the mercy of our mechanical reflexes. Gurdjieff divides the psyche in two. First is the essence, your authentic self, which stops developing in childhood. Everything added after, culture, education, expectations, forms a rigid artificial outer shell called the personality, which grows and suffocates our true nature. Over time, we become mass-produced copies of our environment. We function as robotic gears in a larger social machine. Ouspensky observed that eventually, humans grow so accustomed to this state that they become voluntary slaves, feeling actively proud of the chains they wear. Escaping this requires brutal honesty. Gurdjieff insisted that before a person can change, they must recognize their own internal poverty. They have to confront their inner garbage, the uncomfortable reality that they are entirely unevolved and acting on autopilot. If you cannot summon the humility to admit your own mechanical inferiority, there is no system, spiritual or philosophical, that can do anything for you. Gurdjieff mapped our broken machinery using a 19th century carriage. The carriage is our physical body. The horse is our erratic emotions. The coachman is our intellect, struggling to control them. But the critical failure is inside. The master, our active consciousness, is completely missing, fast asleep. Without the master awake to give directions, the lower elements run wild. This is why you make a firm intellectual resolution to change a habit, only to watch your emotions overpower you hours later. Your internal elements are in total anarchy. Historically, people tried to fix this anarchy by isolating one part of the machine. The path of the fakir relies on torturing the physical body. The path of the monk focuses entirely on isolating emotions. The yogi retreats from the world to strictly control the mind. Gurdjieff introduced what he called the fourth way. Rather than retreating to a monastery or a cave, the fourth way demands that you stay firmly in the everyday world. It synthesizes physical, emotional, and mental disciplines, so you work on all three centers simultaneously. The core mechanism of this path is self-remembering. You must divide your mind in half. One part acts in the world, while an internal observer strictly monitors your mechanical reactions, refusing to let the machine operate in the dark. To shatter the machine's momentum, Gurdjieff employed radical physical methods. In his famous stop exercise, students would be going about their day when the master would yell, "Stop." At that exact millisecond, the student had to instantly paralyze every physical movement, active thought, and internal emotion. Acquiring self-knowledge in this system isn't about peaceful meditation. It requires the permanent, exhausting vigilance of a martial artist, fighting a 24-hour war against your own automatic reflexes. This 7-tiered pyramid maps evolution. The majority populate levels 1, 2, and 3, living as machines. Through intense internal friction, one climbs to tiers 4, 5, and 6, harmonizing their centers. Few reach the peak, man number 7, possessing true objective consciousness, real, immutable, immortal. This path offers zero comforting illusions, forbidding any emotional self-pity. It is strictly reserved for those capable of uncompromising honesty about their flaws. It leaves you with a single immediate challenge. Next time you grab your phone, start a conversation, or feel a wave of anger, you have to ask yourself, Did I consciously choose to do this, or did the machine do it for me?